Yerushalayim. We'd love to share whatever we have with as many people as we can.
Is an amazing teacher. The way he is as a teacher, the way he is spiritually, is truth and love of peace and love of the Jewish people, love of the land of Israel. I don't know. It's a glimpse of what Avram Avinu is like.
Shalom and brachot, everyone. I would like to share a few ideas on Parashat Vayigash. Joseph reveals his true identity to his brothers. Many of us are moved to tears as we read in our parasha of that sensational encounter. It has even been suggested that the special Torah musical cantillations also reflect the intensity of that reunification. The Trop, the Ta'amei Mikra, are screaming out to us, V'lo yachol Yosef lahitapei. I don't have a great sense of music, but those that understand a little bit about what's being said here, there's a certain kind of stirring of an emotion going on. Joseph could no longer control himself after Judah's impassioned plea. In behalf of Benjamin, we are about to read of the breathtaking scene. However, there is one very important prelude, and it's on that aspect of the story that I would like to dwell. Vayikra, Hotziu Cholish Me'alai. Joseph cried out, remove all people from here. V'lo amad ish ito b'hitvada Yosef el Echav. No one remained there with him when Joseph made himself known to his brothers. What's the significance of these details? The rabbis teach in the Midrash. Anyone? Why is it important to know that there was no one there?
He didn't want to shame. He didn't want to shame his brothers.
Right. And if they would have been there, and if the Egyptians would have been there, embarrassing, right? Rashi paraphrases it: Lo haya yachol lizbol sheyiyu hamitzrim nitzavim alav v'shomeim she'echav mitbayishin b'hivada'o lahem. Yosef could not entertain the possibility of shaming his brothers in front of the Egyptians. If the Egyptians would witness the recounting of the story, how would the brothers feel? Everyone must leave. Hotziu chol ish me'alai. Despite all that they had done to him, Yosef is ever so sensitive to the potential embarrassment of his brothers.
We were working on radar systems. Actually, when I came here originally, I was working on the system that ended up was called Desert Shield. So people thought I was crazy for coming here because they said, you're going to have a war there. We're building the radar systems for the war. And I'm so grateful that's when I came, because you can really see the hand of God at a time when there's war. I came directly to Or Sameach Yeshiva, which is a few feet away from here. And as I said, I had no intention of becoming a religious Orthodox Jew. I thought I was religious the way I was. But they told me that this is what God wants of you. So I found that very hard to believe, and I definitely was not interested in doing what they said was what God wants of you. But I was willing to do whatever God would want, anything He would want, and they convinced me. I fought it out with the rabbis, and they won.
In Torah law and Torah thought, we are sensitive to the shame, even of the shame of transgressors and evildoers. It's prohibited to degrade anyone, even a sinner. As an example, I'd like to cite a section from the book of Deuteronomy, the 25th chapter, where there's a certain concept in Torah called makot, lashes. There were lashes that were carried out by the Jewish court under certain very specific circumstances. Arba'im yakenu lo yosif. You were allowed only the maximum of 40 lashes. The rabbi said it means 39 lashes. Pen yosif lahakoto al ele makaraba v'nikla ahicha be'inecha. There is a limit. Maximum of 39. Do not add, lest someone will strike him an additional blow beyond these numbers, and your brother will be degraded before your eyes. But we're talking about a wicked person. He's a rasha. It says so explicitly in the text. V'haya im bin hakot harasha. If the guilty one, if the wicked one, is about to receive lashes, yes, on the one hand, he is a rasha, but he is also a chicha. He may have done something wrong, he may be wicked, but he is your brother. In Leviticus 6, in Vayikra, the sin offering is slaughtered in the very same side of the courtyard in the temple where the burnt donation offerings were slaughtered. Why? What's the advantage of a sin offering being offered, being slaughtered in the same place as the donation offerings? So that no one would be able to tell if the person is about to be involved in an offering that she is bringing, or he is bringing as a donation, or is it the offering that they're bringing to rectify some kind of sinful behavior? Is it a sin offering, or is it a donation offering? Bimkom asher tishachet ha'olah, zot Torah hachatat. These are the laws. This is the law of the sin offering. Bimkom asher tishachet ha'olah, tishachet hachatat. In the very place where you slaughter the burnt donation offerings, it's in that very place that you shall slaughter the sin offerings. The sin offerings, the guilt offerings, were camouflaged. Nobody was able to identify through the location in the temple exactly which kind they were bringing.
My daughter is a very, very dedicated student. One time she had an appendectomy and she was in pain after the operation and she insisted on coming. It was incredibly painful for her. The bumps of the bus ride, she was like in agony screaming and she insisted on coming. So she's like very dedicated.